New poll released by the Texas Politics Project at UT Austin is giving us insight on how voters are feeling about everything from the U.S. Senate race to the Oval Office and the economy. Executive Director Dr. James Henson is back with us to break it all down. Jim, thanks so much for being here with us.
Great to be back, Ashley, as always.
You know the drill. The first question always the same. Tell us who you talked to and when.
Yeah, we talked to 1,200 registered voters across the state in a demographically representative sample. We were collecting data from April 10th to the 20th. The overall estimates have a margin of error of about 3.35%.
Right, so pretty small. Of course, the big thing that everyone wants to talk about, right, it's those U.S. Senate matchups. Talk to us about who's coming out on top in the head-to-heads.
Yeah, people are interested in that, huh? Well, what we did is we ran two items where we matched James Talarico up with John Cornyn, and then a separate item matched him up with Ken Paxton, just do a heat check. Talarico led both of those. He led against Cornyn 40-33 versus Paxton 42-34. So not a lot of difference in the margins there. I think the thing to notice is twofold. I mean, obviously, some people will be surprised that a Democrat would be ahead in Texas. I think what you have to look at are the party identification breakdowns for that. Talarico's getting the votes of about 80% of Republicans, which is about, or I'm sorry, 80% of Democrats, which is about what we'd expect right now. But in each of those races, Cornyn and Paxton are each only getting about 60% of Republicans. We shouldn't be surprised by that, given that we're in the middle of a very heated runoff, but it's really putting downward pressure on the Cornyn and Paxton campaigns in this kind of a matchup. So Republicans really need to get that race resolved.
Yeah. I think it is interesting to look at Republican support for Cornyn and Paxton. You know, the other thing you ask about is something that you ask about often, and it's the president's approval rating. What are Texans thinking about President Donald Trump right now?
Well, it depends which Texans you're talking to, but overall his numbers are pretty kind of stuck. I mean, he's at a place where he's been for a while. He's at 45% approve of the job he's doing, 50% disapprove, and then you have a sliver that kind of don't have a view of it. And this is, really, driven by party. So he's still in pretty good stead among Republicans. About 81% of Republicans approve of the job he's doing. Dismal ratings among Democrats, no surprise. But I think the thing we're really watching there is that among independents, the president's not polling very well, and we're really watching independents going into what could be a close election in the fall.
Yeah, they will be key, I think, when it comes to that Senate race. The other thing, though, that I thought was interesting about the president's approval rating is you all looked at Latino voters, and the Republican Party has really courted Hispanic voters, particularly in the last election, and it's not looking as promising right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen, if you look at the trend in the job approval ratings of Donald Trump among Texas Latinos, in this latest poll in April, he's at 41% approval, 55% disapproval. That's probably 8 or 9 points lower than he was at his peak, which was perfect timing for the president, which was in October of 2024, right before the election. And he's really suffering among Latinos in terms of the economy. If you look at his job approval among Latinos on the economy, very underwater, only 35% approve, 51% disapprove. On his handling of prices and inflation, 33% approve, 57% disapprove. We know that Latinos pay a lot of attention to economic issues. It's the ones that it's the issue that's traditionally most important to them. It helped Trump in 2024. It's hurting him in 2026.
Yeah, even adding to that, you guys asked the question, is the economy better than it was a year ago? And the answers were not ideal, right?
No, they were not. 27% said that the economy was worse than a year ago, and the share that said it said that it was better off. The share that said that it was worse jumped from 46% in February to 56% in April. Much of this driven, of course, by the economic fallout of the U.S. military action in Iraq and rising gas prices.
Yeah, those gas prices hitting us all hard. Dr. James Henson is the executive director of the Texas Politics Project at UT Austin. You can check out the full poll. Give us the website real quick.
TexasPolitics.utexas.edu. You find a link on the front page and lots of information and graphics.
More information than you know what to do. He also has a podcast that's pretty good. You should check that out too. All right. Thank you, Dr. Henson, for your time.
Thanks, Ashley.